Yeah, we're not the only ones out here at the track. Josh Ninke is here too this morning.
Yes, and there is a tradition reborn this year, a delicious Derby tradition, I have to say. But this will be the first time in 50 years that Derby pies will be made without Alan Rupp's leadership.
That's right, and Josh Ninke, you had a chance to talk with some of his kids who are now carrying on his tradition.
That's exactly right, Shannon. Yeah, it's hard not to think of Derby pie when you think of the Derby and Churchill Downs. I had the chance to meet Alan last year when Kathleen and I emceed the Derby Museum Gala. He was seated at our table, and let me tell you, he just made such a big impression, and now his kids are carrying on his legacy.
When you step into the Kern's Kitchen Bakery, things haven't changed much. The recipe is still the same that the Kerns created more than 70 years ago.
We try to keep it just as homemade as we can, just like our great-grandma used to do it, so we still hand-sort all our own walnuts.
The crew is in the middle of their busiest season of the year, shipping off Derby pies. But something important is missing.
The closer we get to Derby, I think it's just becoming more real. That this is our first Derby without him, but he's here. I feel him all the time.
We caught up with Alan Rupp this time last year, just a few short months before he passed away. He was the third generation of the Kern family to lead the business, but didn't know if that legacy would end with him.
Is this going to stay a family business?
I can't tell you. I don't know.
Rupp's three kids grew up helping out in the bakery and manning booths at events around town, but no one was planning to follow in their father's footsteps. Now, his daughter Rebecca is the company's president, and son Matt is the owner.
It was definitely something we had to come together and kind of prepare for. I think we became a lot closer, and we had to kind of have the difficult conversations and talk about the difficult things. It was okay, we got to rally and figure this out, because we don't want to let it go or let his memory and what he built fall to the wayside.
The two officially took over in January, just in time for the Kentucky Derby rush.
We make all our own dough on Mondays in-house, and then right now we're pressing it into shells so we can go take a look.
Dad would always joke, you know, if asked, how many do you sell during Derby time?
We send as many pies as we can make to market.
But also we have to be realistic and make sure that we can produce those. It's a grind. It's a big thing that we're doing.
Even though Alan is gone, there are still touches of him everywhere you look. His handwriting covers the conference room.
He wanted to do things with passion and purpose.
Yeah, you see that every day when you walk in here.
Yeah.
Rebecca even uses the same office.
I don't even think he knew what color the top of that desk was.
Alan's death was sudden, and his kids still get emotional remembering their last days with him here.
When I think of going to the bakery as a kid, I was always excited to do this thing called an egg. And so he would take us out back, we'd grab an egg, and we would throw it up in the air and let it splatter, and then just stand over it and, you know, he'd say, well, what do you see? Right before he died, the week before he died, I was here with my kids, and I was like, oh, we haven't done an egg with the boys yet. And so, you know, we went out, all the four of us, and we did an egg and went over. And it's just a kind of a special moment to be with him and to do that with my kids.
As my time at the bakery came to a close, we shared a piece of Derby pie. The Rupps know people will remember their father and the way his pie makes them feel. He spent decades building relationships with businesses small and large around town.
He treated everybody with kindness and hospitality. That was something that was very important to him, was being hospitable and just being kind and making memories. If you had had your worst day and you talked to him, you were going to walk away with a smile.
Have some big shoes to fill there, obviously, but I think I'm not the only one who's happy to see Kern's Kitchen and Derby pies remain in the family. Live here at Churchill Downs, Josh Ninke, Wave News.